Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but, well, let's be real, honestly, I just kind of suck at this YouTube thing, but I'm working on it, we're gonna get better, and bringing you right now, it's gonna be a short little series about my story, really. It's about me moving to Hawaii and how I did it and why I did it and what's going on now, and essentially just, I want you guys to get to know me better. I always try to be transparent, but this is just like getting real down and dirty, getting to know Ciarra here. So, thanks for watching. Oh, and hit that subscribe button down below. Okay, here we are, part 1. This is basically like why I moved here and before I moved here, what prompted me to move here, everything of that sort. So, first things first, if you guys saw my first video, which I hope you did, I'll put the link down below, but essentially how I started powerlifting, and you know, we're not even close to get into that because that's like a long story. That video is a whole 20 minutes in itself, we don't need to retell it. So, essentially, I broke up with this guy, well, he broke up with me, well, it was mutual, and when we broke up, well, I'll give you guys a long story short version. So we broke up and I caught him, because I caught him in bed with someone else. And when I caught him in bed with someone else, I kind of lost my shit, and I definitely like did the wrong thing, and I beat her up and I got arrested. So life wasn't going so well at that point, right? Like, I've got this girl with a restraining order against me. I'm having a lot of like guilt about that situation because she didn't deserve that. I'm realizing she didn't deserve that, and you know, while I'm having this issue, it's like I'm having to see them out at the bar all the time, which, you know, even though I got arrested and I really hated this guy, like, got my heart broken, you know? Like, my boyfriend cheated on me, and so it was really shitty, like, having to see them all the time. It was really, like, hard for me. So I was just really miserable. What ended up happening was my best friend at the time, she lived here, she was stationed here in the Navy, and she was like, hey, I'm about to get deployed. I would love to see you before I leave. And surprised me, didn't even tell me, bought me a plane ticket. I was in school at the time, and I was like, I had to tell all my professors, I'm like, hey, sorry guys, like, my friend bought me a plane ticket, you know what am I gonna do, say no? And they were all like, oh, well, and they were all like really mad. Understandably so. But, you know, like what? I just had the opportunity to go to Hawaii and I wasn't gonna go? Negative. Oh, excuse me, I'm drinking Diet Coke. I don't drink soda usually. So, I did visit. I came out here, I was only out here for about a week. But I was here and I fell in love. I was like, I will live here someday. Like, I'm going to live in Hawaii someday. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna live here. So I go back to Iowa, and I ended up getting kicked out of the university because the girl like didn't feel safe while I was there and going to school. Not like we had classes together or anything, but just generally, like, she said she just didn't feel safe having me there. So I ended up getting kicked out of school. So at that point, all I was doing was just like working and drinking and working and drinking and working and drinking and working and drinking. And if you guys don't know, University of Iowa is like a huge party school. So that's really all there is to do. Like, let's be real, it's Iowa. There's nothing else to do but drink. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry people who still live there, I love you guys, but you know it's true. So basically I was just partying all the time, and I ended up like, I was like, stop going to the gym, partying all the time, just like working, partying, and I never went to the gym anymore, and so I was like getting pretty fat. I'll post my little like before and after picture up here, but getting pretty fat, and I was just not happy. I was really unhappy with myself, and so that's when I started powerlifting. Again, that's the other video. Check that out if you'd like to check that out. But it was before actually I got kicked out of the university. It was like right before I got one of these emails that was like, hey, check out the powerlifting team. You know, there's like mass emails that go to the whole school. And at the time I just, you know, whatever. But after I was like starting to get fat, I was like, you know, I remember I got this email, like maybe I should go check out the gym they go to. So that's how I ended up starting powerlifting. And at that point I was just like, you know, I'm not happy. Like, I'm just drinking all the time, I'm partying, I really need to change my life. I need to get a change of scenery, I need to get out of the Midwest. And I was just, at that point, I was like, I'm gone, I'm leaving. So, from then, I, you know, decided I was leaving. I started just mentally preparing myself, I guess. Started telling, like, I told like my closest friends, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm moving. Just let you know, guys, I'm going. And all my friends are like, bye, good for you, like, get out of here. If you're gonna go to Hawaii, go, you know. They were so happy for me. You know, we also have those friends that are like, no, you're not leaving, I miss you. I'm gonna miss you, you're gonna stay here. But really, all in all, everyone was super, super supportive of my decision. So, once I kind of heard, like, I swear I just kind of needed that, like, I really needed that validation from the people that I care about. So once I had that validation, I was like, wow, I can do this. So I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna do this. And then I'm like, fuck, I have no money. I was living in Iowa City, and for those of you who don't know, Iowa City's expensive. So I live in Hawaii, and I pay as much rent here as I did in Iowa City. I have to tell you, it's a lot nicer here, and my place is a lot nicer here. I mean, I kind of got lucky with my place here, but still, like, University of Iowa and Iowa City is, like, mad expensive. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. I just made the decision, and I was like, I don't know how, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna move. So, I didn't even buy my plane ticket until, like, probably, like, 2 months before I left, but no. So this is still much earlier, and I was like, well, I guess I gotta tell my family now. So I remember I was at brunch, and I brought my friend Chloe with me because I was like, I need you to be the buffer. You know, like when you're a kid and you're like, you go ask her, you ask my mom, not me, I don't want to ask her, you ask her. So that was how it was, and I was like, all right, Chloe, I need you to be there because I need you to be my buffer because my mom is gonna flip out. She's like, all right, I'll be there. And I was like, Mom, I have to tell you something. And she's like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, no. Why does Mom always think that's the first thing? She's like, are you pregnant? God, no, Mom. I was like, I'm not pregnant. She's like, oh, well, that's good. Okay, then what is it? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm moving to Hawaii. And she's like, God, are you sure you're not just pregnant? I'm like, yes. Yeah, Mom, I'm like 100% sure I'm not pregnant. I'm like, I'm just leaving the mainland. And she's like, no, you're not. Like, yeah. She's like, yeah, you're not. So she was pretty mad for a little bit. She was like, I don't think she was mad, she was more upset because we didn't have like a really good relationship when I was a kid, and we were just starting to improve everything. And so she was like, fuck, I'm gonna lose my girl like right after, you know, we're getting close. So she was not ready to lose me. But eventually she got really supportive. She helped me sell all my stuff. At that point, I started just getting ready. I told my like roommate, like, hey, I'm not gonna be here next year, I'm leaving. Told all my friends. I didn't obviously sign up for school because I was kicked out. I just started selling everything I could. I sold my car, I sold everything I couldn't sell, I gave away. I sold all my clothes, went to like Plato's Closet. You know, it's not that much, but it's, you know, it's enough, a little bit. So I sold what I could, and then I realized I still didn't have a plane ticket. So I bought my plane ticket with like the little money I had, and I ended up leaving. I had like $5,000, and I only had 3 bags. That's all I had left. I still had some like winter stuff left in Iowa because I was like, oh, I'm gonna need this when I come back to visit. But I was like, I'm just not gonna bring anything. I'm starting over, I'm starting new. I have nothing. So I took my 3 bags and I got on the plane, and as soon as I got on the plane, I was like, oh fuck. Shit. What did I just do? I cried. So I took the cheapest flight possible, so many layovers. I had like 3 layovers before I even got to Hawaii. So I flew from where I'm from in Iowa, or it's like Illinois, it's Moline Airport. I flew from Moline to Chicago, and I cried the whole way. Pretty sure the guy next to me was really freaked out. He's just like, there, you. There. And I cried the whole way to Chicago. From Chicago, I think I went to Seattle. And then in Seattle, oh man, once I got to Seattle, my flight was like a 10-hour layover. So I was in the airport like overnight. And it was like 11 p.m., nothing was open. I got in and my flight didn't leave till the next morning. I guess it was like 6 hours. So it was like my flight didn't leave the next morning till like 6. And I forgot my sweatshirt in my mom's car. And you guys know airports are cold. So I'm sitting in the airport, I'm like, got my backpack, and I'm freezing my ass off, and all I'm doing is just like what did I get myself into? And I'm like laying down and I'm talking to my mom on the phone and I'm like, Mom, I don't know if I did the right thing. I'm like, I'm in Seattle and it's so cold. Like, it's so cold and the airport's empty and there's no one here and I'm so cold and I can't buy a sweatshirt because everything's closed. She's like, Ciarra, it's gonna be okay. My mom, right, like she really wanted to tell me to just turn around and come home, but instead she was like, it's gonna be okay, Ciarra, like it's gonna be alright, just keep pushing. So I finally get to Hawaii and my friend who's supposed to pick me up, so I was supposed to live with my one friend, but her like friend's husband was supposed to come pick me up because he was the only one who was off of work, which is totally understandable. But I get there and he's not there and he's not answering his phone, and then I'm like waiting and waiting and waiting and my bags don't show up. If I didn't think I was making a mistake before, right? So I'm like talking to the person at the airport and I'm just like crying. Like I'm like trying to hold it together, but I'm like, listen, those are all of my things. I sold everything. I have no possessions. That's how I said it. I was like, I have no possessions. Oh, and of my 3 bags, one of them was all army stuff. So I really only had 2 bags worth of my own stuff. And I'm like, you don't understand, okay? I sold everything. I have no possessions. Now I have no clothes. These are the clothes I have. This is it. You're telling me my bags aren't here? And this guy's just like, your bags are just in Chicago. Like, they're gonna make it. And I'm like, where are they? He's like, they're in Chicago. And I'm like, not a good enough answer. And he's like, I'm sorry, we'll deliver them to you when they get here. I'm like, they need to be here now. And he's like, well, sorry, they're not here. So my friend's still not answering. They're not picking me up. No one's called me, not my friend, not my friend's friend, not my friend's friend's husband who was supposed to be there to pick me up. Like, no one's answering, no one's talking to me. I'm sitting at the airport crying by myself. What did I do? Why did I move to Hawaii? I made the biggest mistake ever. So I end up catching a taxi. They're like, oh, you gotta catch a taxi. Okay, there's no taxis. I'm not fucking with you guys. No taxis. And so they're like, oh, but there's a limo. And I'm like, I don't want to pay for a limo. They're like, oh, well, it costs the same as a taxi. And I'm like, what the fuck choice do I have? Sit here at the airport all day? So I take the taxi. Ends up being like a $20 cab ride for like 2 miles. Our first experience in Hawaii, right? I get to my friend's house. All I have is my backpack. And I can't get in the house, right? Because my friend was supposed to be there to like let me in the house, give me the key. But he didn't pick me up. So, sitting outside. Sitting outside on the porch. Literally like how my phone is now. Like FaceTiming my best friend, FaceTiming my mom. What did I do? I sold everything. I moved here because I thought this was going to be a good idea. I have no belongings. I have no possessions. I apparently have no friends because the 2 people that I knew here didn't pick me up, and I'm sitting outside and it's raining and I'm sitting in this island in the middle of the ocean by myself. What did I do? Well, then my friend shows up and he gives me the key and I didn't even talk to him. I was so petty. I was just like, thanks. Went upstairs. He just left, as he should have. I was so mad. Like, who does that? Who does? Oh, I just lost my notes. Who does that? So, yeah, so my bags get there like later the day. Like, it's not like it was like 2 days or anything. Like, they got there later that day, and my friend who was actually living with, like, my notes didn't want to stay up. So my friend who I was actually gonna live with, she just let me like borrow clothes for that day. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I thought it was like, this is a sign. This is a sign. Oh my God, what did I do? Why did I move to Hawaii? Why did I do this to myself? So I finally like get in. I didn't have like a mattress yet or a bed. I just had like an air mattress for like 3 days. It wasn't so bad. But I got there, and so I moved to Hawaii on August 3rd, and August 4th. I went into Mana Barbell and everything kind of like calmed down and my life was like, oh, okay, it's gonna get better. So I'm already at like 14 minutes. So this is part 1, getting to Hawaii. If you guys are interested in a part 2, if you guys don't care about a part 2, I'm not gonna make it, but I hope this helps. I mean, I'd love to give you guys part 2 on how I settled in, like what it took, all my 1,000 steps to get to the job that I'm in now, and like kind of my future steps. But if you guys don't care, you guys don't care. So I really need to hear from you. I really need to hear from you. Send me a message on Instagram. Chances are you got my link from Instagram anyway. Facebook. Send me a message. Tell me that this helped you. Tell me that you're interested in hearing more. Tell me that I didn't just talk to myself for 15 minutes for no reason. Please. Okay. That's it. It's Sunday, so have a great week. Have a great life. And leave the shitty job. Leave the shitty apartment. And chase your dreams. Part 1 out.